everyone, I'm Laura, and welcome to Living on Cruise Control, where just over a year and a half ago, I left the corporate grind to pursue my dream of living full time on cruise ships. Today, I have with me Jace, who is a guest lecturer here on our cruise ship, and I just wanted to talk a little bit more about how we met, the meaning and benefits and purpose and joy of traveling solo. So, Jace, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, hi. Thanks for having me, Laura. I appreciate it. Hi, everybody out there. As Laura said, my name is Jace, and I currently work here on board as a port lecturer and a global enrichment and destination specialist, which is a true blessing. I feel like I've got my dream job. But yeah, we go back quite a way now, eh?
We do. So, I think it was maybe 5 weeks ago, I was joining the first night of the solo meetup. Almost every single cruise, regardless of the cruise line that you're sailing on, usually has some type of solo meetup. Hosted, unhosted. A lot of times they're unhosted. Some cruise lines offer very hosted events, like I know NCL and Virgin Voyage does a great job with solos. But ever since I traveled to Vietnam and as a solo traveler, I make it a point to always try to join at least the first night of a solo event or the second night. And as soon as I saw Jace walk in, I said, wait a minute, I remember you from over a year ago when we first met. And I think your just generosity and being so genuine and so supportive of solos when it's not even really a requirement of your job.
I feel like I need to pay you now for saying that. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Bless
I'll
you.
give you $1 later.
Bless you. That's right. We met.
Yes.
We of course met here on board at the solos. And for me, solo travel. I've been traveling now for many, many years, and not just working in the capacity of doing various different tourist industry jobs, but also I am a very independent and a solo traveler myself as well. So I love to travel. Travel is my passion, of course, and I've been doing it ever since I was 20 years old. I'm not going to tell you my age.
25.
5 years. And yeah, so here on board, what we do is I actually look after our solo travelers. So in a sense of, it's something I volunteer to do. It's not part of my role. However, I've got to say, I mean, as an independent traveler myself, as a solo traveler myself, when I'm not working on board, I tend to travel. And I always like to go off, and I do a lot of solo traveling, and I meet some wonderful people across the globe. And I find that it's for a lot of people, it's really scary for them.
Yes.
And really, do you know what? You are never alone. You may do all that organization, you may do all that preparation, you may feel like you're a traveler on your own, but as soon as you get to anywhere, whether it's backpacking through South America, maybe going on a safari in Africa, or if you're doing those treks up Kilimanjaro, you'll tend to find that there are always people who are like-minded like yourselves. And I tend to find, you know what, you might be strangers, but you don't find strangers, you're just finding new friends. And you find that there's many people just like you and I who love to travel, got that zest for life, who want to go out and see this incredible planet. And I can tell you, you're not alone when you go out. There are always people thinking just like yourselves.
I just love that so much. And I think you call us solo travelers and adventurers, not like a singles group, because I think a lot of solo people might have partners back at home or families that friends that just can't maybe go on that trip, or they don't want to take that particular adventure. And you should never let that stop you, because you get one life, and if not now, then when? So don't be afraid of the idea of traveling solo, especially on a cruise ship. I think there's so many great people that you can meet. I feel like it's one of the safest ways to travel as a solo female traveler. I've been doing it now for over a year and a half, even longer than that. All my work trips were always solo travel, right? You can't just bring your friends along when you're going on a business trip. So I feel like I've been solo traveling for decades. And I think what's so cool about the solo event, and what really stood out when I first met Jace, is putting all the chairs in a circle, and we all talked about who we were, where we're from, how many Princess cruises we'd been on. He memorized every single one of our names, had a table reserved for us. That's not going to happen on every cruise that you go on. Like, we were lucky that he does this just out of his kindness. It's, again, not even part of your job. I think if you're nervous about traveling solo, think about the other people. Maybe it's their first cruise. Maybe it's the first time they've ever left their hometown. You can help inspire other people, even if you're still new to it. I think of that too. Like maybe I can answer questions about the cruise ship or about cruising, or just make sure that everybody has a friendly face that they can, connect with. And you make lifelong friends. I have friends now that I'm going on sailings. A couple of my Alaska sailings are people that I met on cruise ships and at solo events. You never know. You might even find love. You just never know. Like you could find your soulmate at sea. It's possible.
It
You got to
really
give it a
is.
shot.
It really does. And do you know what? Although I call it the solos and adventurers because I think it's that title of singles and solos that really does put a lot of people off when they come on board, maybe on their own, or sometimes even with their partners. Now, it's not just about bringing solo travelers together. I like bringing anyone together. So we have couples come and join us as well. But it is mainly for our solos and adventurers, and it is all about making connections, meeting new people. I tend to find that on the first night, everyone's very nervous. Sometimes people don't even find the venue on their first night. So I like to go along on the first night, and it's just about getting to know each other. We spend 45 minutes hanging out, finding out a little bit about each other, where you're from, and instantly, one thing I always say is once you come to the solos once, you're never alone for the rest of the cruise. But it's not compulsory, you don't have to come. But you know that every night, when I'm on the ship, every night there's always someone there to share a story, to share a drink. And what better than to have the port lecturer actually give independent advice on how to get out on your own or how to bring people together to go out on hikes or maybe go to a museum together or go to and do an activity. So once you get on board, take that step, go to the solos. It's not a pickup joint.
No.
I know we might be the love boat
I
and I
mean-
know relationships happen.
Sure.
They really do. And I've seen some wonderful, I've even been to a wedding from solos that have met on one of my particular cruises. And it does happen. But you have like-minded people who've come together. And the sad thing is, I've got to say, gentlemen, you're the guys we really need on these
Yes.
ships.
Not just the women.
It's always full of ladies. It's lovely to see so many ladies come along. You're confident ladies. It's nice that you're easy to talk to. You mingle with everybody very well. Guys are very intimidated, I can imagine. So normally what happens is on the first night, we have maybe 30 ladies, maybe 2 or 3 guys.
Hey, the numbers are in your favor, gentlemen.
I'll tell you,
Go.
guys, come along because honestly, and as I mentioned, it's not about picking people up. It's just about making connections, meeting new like-minded people. And I've got to say as well, the reason why I love doing the solos is not just because I'm an independent traveler, not just because the fact that for me, it's like a social life. I love meeting new people. I love enhancing people's cruise experience. I like being there to assist when anyone's got any questions.
If you're finding this video informational or inspirational, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another episode of my journey living full-time on cruise ships.
But I've had a few lovely solos, male and female, who've traveled all their life with their loved ones. They've elite members, or they've traveled and cruised all their life. Sadly, one's passed, and then they're cruising for the first time. And so often their sons, their daughters tell them to get out there, tell them to go on a cruise. And they come along, and the anxiety, I can imagine, must be overwhelming to feel like they've had so many amazing memories, and now they're doing it on their own. And there are other people out there, just like yourselves as well. So you guys come together, and again, it's just about meeting like-minded people who want to still see this incredible planet, see these wonderful ports, and still got that zest for getting out and experiencing these beautiful places.
I couldn't agree more. I feel like if I hadn't gone to the solo event on that first cruise or even this last cruise, we wouldn't have become friends, right? We've become such great friends that I feel like that friendship will last forever. And you never know when your paths are going to cross with these people, and connect with people that you may never meet in your normal day-to-day life from all over the world. I guarantee you'll find something in common, a place you've traveled to, questions about the port. Have you had, this restaurant? Did you go to the show? There's so many ways to connect from the solo event. And again, just seeing that familiar face when you're walking around the cruise ship makes such a difference. You can be that inspiration for someone else, which I just think is really incredible and amazing.
It really does. And you know what? I've had so many solo travelers come on board, And at the end of the cruise, we all always eat together. We always end up in a photo together. And I promise you that you've met friends for life. And quite often you'll go on future cruises where you'll get the opportunity to all meet up again. And you'll make those special connections. And not just cruising, but often there'll be connections made where you'll go and visit people in other countries. And again, it's just about sharing tips and hints. And there will be people who've been there and have done it for many years. And it might be people who are there for your first time as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for watching this video. I truly appreciate your support, and I hope to see you at a solo event one day. Thanks.